So welcome back to New Economic Policy 1991, and the watchwords were liberalization, L, P is privatization, and G is globalization. We finished with liberalization and we are doing privatization. And in privatization we talked about why was there need for privatization. We spoke about a little about the meaning, and in this we are going to talk about what are the arguments against privatization. It came under a lot of criticism, this privatization bid of the government or the policy. So what were the main points? That's what we are going to do. We're going to try to understand. Basically, they felt that the masses will not get the benefit of it. They'll be marginalized. And then their standard of living will come down, and also infrastructure will be affected adversely. And there could be growth of monopolies, industrial monopolies, that then they rule the roost. They are the ones who really can also make a lot of decisions for the government, taking in their view. So that was it basically. So look at this, as you see. So these are basically arguments against privatization, or the criticism basically. They said it's going to bring about an unbalanced growth. All sectors could not develop. All sections of the economy will not develop. There won't be any social betterment, they felt. That was one main criticism. Second, they felt that stemming from that, they said standard of living of the masses will not improve. Definitely it won't. Only a few. There'll be a widening gap between the haves and the have-nots. And also the infrastructure, there'll be private sector really doesn't take too much interest in the development of economic and social infrastructure in the economy. And even if they do, it is not, it's very expensive. It's not economically viable. Or the marginalized section cannot really make use of it. And the rate of return on such investments is also low if they take up infrastructure. And of course, growth of monopoly. That means they encourage growth of monopoly power in the hands of the big business houses, who will come up with policies which suits them. The suitability has to be theirs. And this leads to greater inequalities of income and wealth. So that is there, and those were the basic criticisms. But we could not really take up these criticisms because the PSUs were in a very bad shape, and the whole economy was really doing not too well, and so we had to come up with a new economic policy in which privatization was a very important aspect of the policy.